The first speaker is Bob Kistler, property tax elimination activist and consultant.
Good morning, and thanks for all for attending. Today I'm going to talk about the homestead ballot question results. First, I want to talk about the education process that led up to the vote results. Since I've been involved in this effort, roughly 2010, when I saw Ron Bolch on stage, legislators have consistently asked that we call our friends, family, frenemies, everybody we know in all corners of the state, and ask them to notify their legislators. Everyone here took that task to heart. In addition to that, we formed canvassing teams. We went door to door all across the state. We went to areas where legislators claim it's not a problem. Everywhere we went, the people behind the doors said at least 70% of them agreed that 76 is the answer. We formed an LTE team. Hundreds of letters have been published about this topic all across the state. While non-scientific, every media poll that was ever run in any paper, and there have been many, supported elimination by at least 80%, often 90%. So the culmination of this education effort, and we did tailor the education into the ballot question, came with the 84% counties voting yes during the 2017 vote. Make no mistake about this. In the voters' mind, they were voting for elimination. This is a map many of you are familiar with. It was kindly provided by Representative Maloney's son. It's pretty self-explanatory. Green are counties that voted yes, red no. What I learned recently, though, is that millions of dollars were spent to defeat this bill, and still we ended up with 84% yes. This is the same data, just presented graphically. I put the source up here. Anybody can go to the data and do this themselves to prove it. Anyhow, what I did here is I binned the county percentage. I binned them in 5 increment brackets. So for instance, this bar that shows 16 means that there were 16 counties that voted yes in the 55 to 60% bracket. By doing it graphically, you can really visualize the overwhelming scope of the election results. If we talk about this in terms of landslide threshold, there's 2 definitions for landslide. Some say it's 10%, some say it's 15%. If you take the 84% of the counties that voted yes, 72% of those counties exceeded or met the 10% threshold. 55% exceeded the 15% threshold. Compelling constituent graph. Now I took the data a step further because there's always this argument that the West doesn't really have this problem.
Yes, they do.
So I geographically divided the state down a county line that resulted in 30 counties to the west, 37 counties to the east. As you can see, 80% of western counties voted yes, 86 voted in the east voted yes, 80 west. So I took that same data and presented graphically just as I did before, where I broke out west and east. You can see in this chart that the eastern distribution is wider, but the west distribution of yes votes fits very nicely within the east distribution. If we look at it in terms of landslide threshold again, the east did better, there's no question about it, but there's still significant landslide margin in the west, 57 at 10%, 33 at 15%. As a sidebar, the average of the popular vote was within 2% in either side of the state. This is an open and shut case. The icing on the cake occurred in 2018 after the vote, where Ron Bolch and many members here, please stand up if you were there that day, delivering 30,000 plus petitions to Governor Wolf's office asking for elimination. We have a clear constituent voter mandate. No further discussion is needed. The constituents, you excelled at doing your job. The mandate is clear. Time to get it done. Thank you.